2017 quarterback commitment, Mac Jones from Jacksonville, Florida, the Bowl School specifically, right there on the banks of the beautiful St. Johns River. Mac is one Jacksonvillian to another. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Mac, just wanted to get you on. It seems to me at least, or those of us on the outside, it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for you. Now, you go back to sort of the early part of the year and you had some offers. You were committed to Kentucky, but it seems as if the action really started to pick up around April and May. And is that sort of when Alabama's interest in you specifically cranked up, Mac, or had they been in touch and shown that interest prior to that?
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of months obviously have been pretty crazy. So I've talked to almost, every FBS school, at least at spring practice or on the phone or Twitter, or however those people do it. But, I mean, Alabama kind of reached out to me when, my coach at Kentucky kind of got fired. So I didn't really know if I was going to stick with them or not. So I think Alabama kind of realized that they wanted to make sure I was in a good position for myself. So that's when they started reaching out to me, and we just built the relationship nice and slow, and they got to come out and see me during spring practice and stuff. So I think that's what it stemmed from.
Mac, who are the primary recruiter or recruiters for Alabama for you during this process? Has it been just an area guy? Has Lane Kiffin been very involved? Coach Saban? It seems as if it's really a collective effort around here.
Yes, it was pretty collective. I was initially in contact with Coach Key. He was kind of our area recruiter, and he's been really nice to my family and I. And he's the one that kind of got me on campus. And then Coach Saban actually spent a lot of time with us too. So that was good to be able to have that one-on-one time with him. And then obviously Coach Kiffin came by the school a couple of times, and we talk on the phone a lot too. So I'd say it's pretty active by all three of them, really. And obviously whenever I went on my visit, I got to talk to some of the other position coaches and get to meet some new guys.
What were your impressions of that visit? Was it your first time here? Had you been here before? How did it kind of stack up compared to the places maybe that you had been beforehand?
I'd been to Alabama like one time before, I think, with my family, and I just really, really liked it. The first time I went, I was like, wow. Obviously, I knew I was kind of expecting, what I thought of it to be fulfilled, but really just compared to other schools, I just thought that people that kind of are behind the scenes, all the way from like the janitors to, just some people that help out around the facility and stuff. Those people were just really nice to me. So I just felt a click there. And compared to other schools, obviously the facilities just blow people away. The coaches obviously are top of the line too. So I just felt like it was a great fit.
I know the system you come from. I've been around Coach Rogers, especially in the 90s. Younger brother played your position for the man, the legend himself, Corky Rogers. And I can tell you from that experience, it's a very demanding job. Corky Rogers, in my opinion, the best high school football coach in the country. I don't think there is another guy
No
at
doubt.
his level. Talk about that a little bit, though. You play in a program that, if people could go down the San Jose Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida, and just go to a summer workout. Did you guys get after it this morning, I'm guessing, already?
Yes, sir. We woke up. I woke about like 6:30 and drove up to the field, and we had summer workouts at 7:30 to about 10. So we got after it, and Coach Rogers, he actually just went on vacation. So he wasn't here today, but he rarely misses. So, he's there every single day the whole year. So I feel like a week should be good for him to kind of take that time off. But
was Coach Barrett in there? I mean, what about Coach Belger?
Yes,
were they in there?
Yes, sir. They were all there, and Coach Barrett, he loves me, and he always watches me work out. So he's kind of like, I kind of work with him individually with my partner. So he has his own workout plan for me. So I'm really close with Coach Barrett, and Coach Belger kind of ran the whole deal today. So it was interesting.
Those guys, I'm just telling you, they've been together for over 20 years now. gosh, I want to say, 26 years going on?
Yeah.
Almost 30?
Yeah, almost 30 probably.
And I don't ever envision them not being together in some form or fashion, especially coaching football. It's who they are, and it's really something that's just transferred to the players year in and year out. The faces, as you've seen, Mac, they come and they go, and there's been some great players go through there, but the program sustains whether the talent level is at an optimum level or maybe it's not to that level that they're accustomed to. But in terms of preparing you for the next level, I mean, it has to. You have to feel really good about the track you're on, given where you're coming from, not just athletically, but academically as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with that. I mean, Coach Rogers has done a great job with his staff, and I don't think any high school or even college has a more stable staff than him. I seem like, I mean, obviously the facts are there. They've been together, so there's not much moving around. We might get 1 or 2 new coaches a year, but I think that translates to the bond we have as players. I mean, we all feel comfortable with our coaches, and we know that. A lot of people ask me why I didn't transfer and stuff and all this because Bowles doesn't throw the ball or do this,
and you had to wait your turn too, right?
Right, exactly. I just figured it's been this way and it works. So if I wait my turn, things will happen and it'll all work out. So I actually started. I think I was the 6th or 7th string quarterback as a freshman, and then 5 people quit, and then by my sophomore year I was starting a few games. So it was pretty interesting, the whole journey part there. But I think the coaches do an awesome job preparing us both academically, making sure we're making the good grades, and athletically by just making sure we work hard and stay humble.
Now, in terms of system fit, the Corky Rogers system I remember was very much wing T oriented. Now, there were some adjustments made, some shotgun stuff put in. Has it evolved even more, Mac, in terms of looking at preparing you for the next level? I know maybe people look at your numbers and see 2,100 yards, whatever it was last year, but you got to understand, again, this is at its basis a wing T system, but has it evolved under Coach Rogers to be more pro in some ways?
Yes, I think it has. I mean, Coach Rogers he realized that he has to kind of change some things. And actually, when I started to take over the job, I feel like we threw the ball a lot more, but he always makes sure that I'm protected and stuff. So if we can't throw the ball because there's too much pressure, he'll make sure that we run the ball a lot. So he just does whatever's best for him and whatever works, really. So I don't really care if we run the ball 100 times a game, and if we win, that's fine with me. So I could care less about my stats. But another thing is, we beat teams in the first quarter 40-0, so I'm already out of the game. I think 4 games this year, I only played half the game. So, you don't really get the stat boost or whatever people always look for. But
right, that's true.
As long as we win, it's all good.
Now, is 51 trap still the first play of every game? Is that going to be the play call?
Yes, sir. We run that every practice, every game. So
that's a running joke. Yeah, that's a running joke down there, except it's not a joke. It's reality. 50 trap out of that wing T, 51 trap is pretty much the bread and butter.
Exactly. If you can get that down lineman kind of surprised by that trap block, it's gone.
Now, looking at your class specifically, what are you doing to try to bolster this group, this next recruiting haul for Alabama? You actively working some guys like a certain running back or some others as well?
I went to this Rivals camp deal or whatever in Atlanta, and there was a lot of good players that Alabama's recruiting, so I got to meet them and talk to them. And certain people, there's some receivers like Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, some of those names. And then, I just want to make sure that we all stick together. Najee's obviously awesome running back. Try and keep him. But really just whoever the coaches want, and just try and get them on board or keep the guys that we already have. Because I feel like, we have a good class. Even right now, if we finish with this, it'd be fine. But I know we're trying to get, a full class. So we'll see what they have in store.
Now, Mac, this is shaping up to be a 2-quarterback class. Has that been pretty much the message that's been relayed to you all along, that Alabama's taken 2 quarterbacks in this class? And how much did that sort of factor into your decision ultimately to switch your commitment from Kentucky, or how much did that factor into things?
I mean, I learned how to wait my turn at bowls, so I know it's a tight ship at Alabama, just like bowls. So, I mean, thinking about the whole deal with the two quarterbacks and all the competition, I think it will just make me better, not only as a player, but as a person. I mean, if I don't play until my senior year, if I don't ever play, it'll be fine because I'll have made great friends and I've been a part of a great team. So that really didn't factor into it. Obviously, I'm going to go in there and compete, and if I lose the job, I'm going to keep competing, and I'm not going to stop competing until I leave. So, I mean, that wasn't really too big of a factor, but, I mean, obviously, we were all on the same page as regards to there being two quarterbacks in the class, so I don't think there was any confusion.
Well, Mac, we certainly appreciate you taking time to join us here on Southern Fried Sports on Tide 99.1 FM, and wish you nothing but the best of luck in your upcoming senior year. I know Coach Rogers, Coach Belger, and the rest of those guys will have y'all right in the mix of it one more time down in the state of Florida.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.